Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to 2020 and welcome to our first webinar of the year. Exciting to have so many people on the call today, and let's get started. Today, we're talking about one of my favorite subjects, my favorite benefit subject in the entire world, and that is sales. Group Benefit Sales Workshop is the title of our presentation today, and that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on sales. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can move that. I don't know what's going on here, but let's just maximize that. There we go. Group Benefit Sales Workshop. So anyways, let's get started here. So welcome to the Benefits Trust. Welcome to 2020. Happy New Year to all. An exciting day ahead of us for sure. And an exciting year ahead of us. I know many people that I've talked to in the benefits business had a great sales year last year, and we're going to continue that momentum and bring it into 2020. Benefits Trust was established 26 years ago. We're on our 26th year of being in business. We're a full-service third-party benefit administration company, and we work with brokers like you. We've been working directly with brokers like you since April the 1st, 2001. So many years ago, we started working with brokers directly as opposed to selling directly. So our comments today are going to be based on sales, but it's really about you. So at the end of the presentation today, you're going to be signed up for our Trusted Advisor newsletter. In addition to that, if you're not already signed up for that, but in addition to that, you will be getting a CE certificate. I know we're a little bit behind on these CE certificates, but we will be getting those out very shortly. We've got a program that is just in the final stages of the beta testing being done, and then all of the past CE credits we will be sending those out. So we will be getting those out to you. So I apologize for the delay and thank you for your patience. As well as that, you're going to get a really short survey, and we'd love you to fill it out because we want to do it better tomorrow than we did it today. So with your feedback, we can certainly do that. That's going to help us in our mission. In addition to that as well, there's a section in the survey on future subjects you'd like to see covered with webinars, and we would be happy to include those subjects in our future webinars. We've got a webinar series that's just been announced, so check out our website, thebenefitstrust.com. Go to the Trusted Advisor section, and you will see some new webinar dates that we've got on there for early 2020. So I've been in the business for 30 plus years, 32 years now, and I've attended a lot of sales webinars over the last number of years, over the last 32 years actually. And I think if you gain one good sales idea that you can use, that's the critical thing that you can use, I think our time together is well spent. So that's how we've really approached this thing, this webinar. And our agenda today is I've narrowed it down into 3 different topics, and it's know your target market, know what you're going to ask or say to your target market, and know how many times you need to do it to reach your goals. So it's as simple as that. But if we can get one good idea out of today's presentation, out of today's webinar, I think it is truly time well spent. And sorry, I just want to turn off my phone to make sure we're not disturbed through this presentation. I forgot to do that. My name is Robert Crowder. I'm the president and founder of the Benefits Trust. I've been selling employee benefits in Ontario for more than 30 years. Actually, I was just looking at my my advocate's card, and I've been in this business since 1988, so 32 years now. But for probably the majority of that time, or more than 30 years, I've been focusing on working with small businesses. And when I put this presentation together, I think I've attended probably or conservatively more than 7,000 meetings with prospects asking them to buy. I am a salesperson. This is what it is that I do, without a doubt. So that's really what I want to talk about. And I think it's exciting being salespeople. It's exciting being and especially as you can call yourself a professional salesperson, you spent your career doing it, because you got this confidence, you got this feeling of confidence, that oozes out of your pores. And it's exciting because when you're a good salesperson, you can feel confident like this. And sometimes you can feel like this. You want to smash your chair. I love this picture on the bottom right where the guy wants to put his fist through the computer. Or you can smash your chair, or you can feel frustrated or just exhausted and going, why am I in this business? Wouldn't it be easier working for the TTC and driving a bus, for goodness sakes? But you can feel this frustration. You can feel this confidence like I just showed you, or you can feel this incredible frustration. Or you can feel like, a pirate. It's amazing. You can have all these different emotions running through your body, and this can all happen before noon in a single day. It's amazing. You can walk out of a meeting and feel confident, and then all of a sudden get an email and be frustrated. and then something else happens and you're feeling like what's that pirate's name? Jack Sparrow. There we go, Jack Sparrow. So you can feel like this all before noon, and that's part of the frustrations of being a salesperson. It's also part of the excitement of being a salesperson. So when we're talking about benefits, and let's get into this, when we're talking about benefits, I think there are different market sizes in the Canadian benefit marketplace, and I think the reason why I'm sort of segregating these different market sizes is because I think the decisions are made differently. So my comments today are going to be based on that smaller end of that marketplace, the 1 to 101 lives. Just because the decisions are made differently in this marketplace, and the majority of us are working in this marketplace. And the fact of the matter is the market is absolutely enormous. And we look at the GTA, and I'm talking not just downtown Toronto or the core, I'm talking about the GTA when you're talking from Niagara to Oshawa, around that Golden Horseshoe and up through Barrie and so on. There's well over 50,000 businesses, more like probably 75 or 100,000 businesses in southern and central Ontario with 1 to 101 employees. It's just staggering the amount of business that we have here in southern and central Ontario. So southern and central Ontario with 1 to 100 employees. So that's why I want to focus on this size marketplace. And my comments today, based on sales, are going to be in that size marketplace. The fact of the matter is there might be 75,000 businesses, but no two businesses are the same. We've got close to 100 people on this call today, and we all sell employee benefits with one way, shape, or form, but none of us are the same. None of us are the same that are on this call. No two businesses are the same either. So it's interesting when you've got three big carriers, when you've got Manulife, Sun Life, and Great West Life, where they've got a package and they say this one size fits all, and it doesn't make any sense to me. So, but no two businesses are the same. I don't want to bash carriers. I think they're fantastic, right? But no two businesses are the same, and I think we need to approach it really in that fashion. The best definition I've ever heard of sales or selling is engaging someone in a future result that's good for them. And that really stuck with me. I probably heard this 15 years ago. But selling is engaging someone in a future result that's good for them. Selling is engaging someone in a future result that's good for them. Think about that for a few minutes. Write that down, think about it. And you think about, when I look at sales, I always look at how I've been sold. Not only am I a salesperson, but I'm also a consumer. So I look at over the past, year or 5 years or 10 years, and when somebody has sold me something and I feel good about it, it's because they're engaging me in a future result that's good for me. So selling is engaging someone in a future result that's good for them. It's as simple as that. And really the key word there is the future. And I think it's important that when we have discussions with prospects and we have discussions with clients, we have to ask future-based questions. Those of you that have been on our webinars in the past, we talk a lot about this, and we're going to keep on talking a lot about this, but it's all about the future. It's not about the past, it's about the future. We may look at the past to gain some insight, but it's really about the future of your clients. So it's asking future-based questions. And simply the best question ever that best sales question ever, and it doesn't matter whether you're selling bread or soup or whether you're selling benefits or cars or whatever it is that you are selling, it doesn't matter, is if we were meeting here 3 years from today, what has to have happened for you to say it's been the best 3 years of your life? And for those of you that are single, that are out dating someone and dating someone new, because apparently, from what I hear, it's all about the internet and picking up people, or me picking up. That makes me sound old. Meeting people that are new from the internet. This should be the first question that anybody asks, right? If we were meeting here 3 years from today, what has to have happened for you to say it's been the best 3 years of your life? You ask a prospect this question. And when we're talking here about benefits, you ask a prospect this question. And it's amazing what you're going to hear. It's amazing the results that you're going to get back. The answers are staggering. It was fascinating. I was out with a broker yesterday afternoon, and we were sitting down with three business owners that own this particular company. And I asked this question right out of the gate. And for 45 minutes, we had a discussion. We didn't talk about benefits at all, but I know exactly where they're going. I know exactly what they're going to be doing, how they're going to be changing their business. It's amazing. Clients are going to, or prospects are going to ask, when you ask this question, they're going to tell you how they're going to grow their business, how they're going to shrink their business, how they're going to expand their business into new product lines, or they're going to introduce new products, or they're going to be dealing in different markets or new markets. They're creating new alliances. They're getting rid of old alliances. They're telling you where they're going. And this is critical when you're selling them anything, especially benefits. So if we were meeting here 3 years from today, what has to have happened for you to say it's been the best 3 years of your life? Right? It's just a great question. And if they refuse to answer the question, they say, you know what, I want to get into all this. You know what, let's just tell me about benefits. Well, really, they're not a prospect. If you don't know where they're going, you can't help them. Right? You can't help them. It's as simple as that. As I like to say, next. There's 50,000 or 75,000 prospects. Great, next. They're not a prospect. They're just a customer. They're not a client. They're time wasters. Throw the prospect file in the garbage and move on. As simple as that. So I like to say, tell your prospect what you can do for them, follow it up with a great question, and shut up. Right? Mr. Client or Mr. Prospect or Mrs. Prospect, we help successful business owners build a better benefit plan than they can get anywhere else. Then I like to ask, if we were meeting here 3 years from today, what has to have happened for you to say it's been the best 3 years of your life? After you get through the pleasantries of, hey, can I get you a coffee? No, I'm good, thank you. Hey, simple discussion. This is what we do, Mr. Prospect, Mrs. Prospect. We help successful business owners like you build a better benefit plan than they can get anywhere else. So let me ask you a question. If we were meeting here 3 years from today, what has to have happened for you to say it's been the best 3 years of your life? That's how we start off a meeting. Simple as that. Tell your prospect how you can help them in 10 seconds and ask them about their future and shut up. Simple as that. Another great question that you can ask is, what is the main reason why your next new client chooses your solution over your competition's? What is the main reason your next new client, the next time someone says yes to you, chooses your solution over your competition? What's the main reason? They're going to tell you all sorts of stuff. Or what's your competition going to say about your business in the next 3 years? Well, these guys are really getting ahead. These guys are really expanding. These guys are really growing. These guys are acquiring. What is your competition going to ask you about your business in the next 3 years? Remember, solutions are abundant. Anybody can get solutions. What's rare are the right questions. And what is important are, in my opinion, are future-based questions. We've all heard this expression, getting information off the internet is like taking a drink from a fire hydrant. But it's true. It's amazing when you think about it, right? Solutions are abundant. Anybody can buy benefits and they can buy them over the internet. Simple. They can buy them over the internet. Never have to see it, someone like you or someone like me, right? There are solutions out there. But what are rare are the right questions. So it's important to ask those future-based questions. I've shared 3 questions with you, but I want to share a whole bunch more. Visit our website, thebenefitstrust.com. Go to the Advisor Resource Center, and there's 101 great sales questions that you can have. Simple as that. Check it out. All right, let's get into the meat of this thing because we've only got 45 minutes left. Know your target market. Our target market is successful. First of all, our target market is brokers that work with successful entrepreneurial businesses with 1 to 101 employees. As simple as that. But what is your target market? And you can have different target markets for different things that you sell. It's as simple as that, because you might sell living benefits, you might sell life insurance, you might sell funding for shareholders agreements and employee benefits, you might sell investments. You might have different target markets for different components of your business. But it's important that regardless of what you're selling, you got to know what your target market is. We only do one thing, and that's provide TPA services for brokers, clients like you, where we help successful entrepreneurial businesses with 1 to 101 employees. So that's our very specific target market. Fact of the matter is there's 75,000 prospects in the GTA. We've got lots of prospects, but that's our target market. But you got to be able to answer this, really important question. When you think about your target market, and again, you might have different target markets for different things that you're selling, but you got to be able to answer this really important question. Why is that your target market? Why is it? Well, for example, if you're selling investments, I only want to deal with people that have only $500,000 or more of investable assets, right? I was in Detroit over the holidays. The Thanksgiving, the New Year's holiday, and I was at a wedding. Anyways, long story, I was at a wedding, but I was talking to this guy, and he works with American families. He was at this particular wedding, and he works with American families that have $10 million a year, or $10 million of investable assets or more. And his average size family is probably got 20 something million dollars of assets that he invests. That's his target market. Whether it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. He is, his hair was gray too, but it's know your target market. And why is this your target market? So in the discussion that we're having today, and this is true, our target market is profitable entrepreneurial incorporated businesses with 1 to 101 employees. Profitable entrepreneurial incorporated businesses with 1 to 101 employees. So why? Why is this our target market? Well, first of all, I think that target market likes to buy value. And I think that target market truly enjoys spending money wisely. They enjoy spending money wisely. It's interesting, in spending all my time, or the majority of my time in this target market, entrepreneurs that are successful and profitable, they enjoy spending money because they have it. And they enjoy spending it, and they enjoy spending it wisely. They hate spending it frivolously. They want to spend it wisely. As well as that, they like to be sold with passion. They created their future, and they created this business that they've got with excitement, and they want to be sold with the passion that they have for their business. And they don't mind introducing you to their friends. So our target market, the reason why we're in this target market is there's an abundance of them, but they also like to buy value, enjoy spending money wisely. They like to be sold with passion, and they like to introduce you to their friends. There's endless prospects. As well as that, you get to meet with the decision maker quick. You get to meet with the decision maker, as simple as that. As I like to say, you get to yes or no quickly. Yes pays you, no teaches you, and maybe kills you. I spent more time in the larger target market size earlier on in my career, and I had these great prospects, and you'd be on the sales cycle for 6 months or 8 months before they'd say yes or no. It's that maybe that kills you, and you spend a ton of time. Now my cocaine is the one meeting sale. It's getting to yes or no real quick, right? And the other thing is common ground, critical component, common ground. I'm an entrepreneur. I own a business that has 30 employees, right? This is common ground. I'm in that target market. So we've got common ground. I was in this client with this client yesterday that I was speaking to with this broker, and there's that common ground. Our businesses were very similar in size. Simple as that. The other thing is when you know what your target market is and know why it's your target market, you want to spend 80% of your time in there. Yes, we have businesses. We've got a number of businesses that are over 100 employees or 101 employees, but we want to spend the majority of our time in our target market. We want to meet with successful entrepreneurial business owners. As simple as that. As well as that, you want to become an expert. In this meeting yesterday, without a doubt, these guys were the expert in their widget policing business, but we were the experts in the benefits business. You want to be an expert, right? And when you know what your target market is, you want to be that expert. As simple as that. And a very good friend of mine, actually, I'm meeting him tonight for a beer, long time friend of mine. He used to run a PR agency in Toronto. And he said, when you deal with one client in a particular market space, it's a client. If you deal with two clients in a similar marketplace, it's a conflict. And when you deal with three or more, you become a specialist. You're a special, it's a specialty, as simple as that. So I like to say we deal with successful entrepreneurial or profitable entrepreneurial businesses with 1 to 101 employees that are incorporated, right? And this is what we spend our time doing. Right. So when you look at your target market, you look at geographic locations, you look at industries, you can look at employee counts, you can look at sales volume. We only want to deal with companies that have $50 million in sales or more, or we only want to deal with companies that have, that are just starting out because they're brand new, or they're on their third generation or fourth generation, or we only want to deal with special interest companies like green companies, for example, or we only want to deal with, companies that are environmentally friendly. So, but you got to know why this is your target market. And it's important to tell your prospects. It's interesting when you tell your prospects, hey, you are in our target market. All of a sudden they look at you and they go, oh, great, perfect, awesome. This is a great feeling. They get this feeling. So all of a sudden it becomes who's the buyer to a certain extent. But when you tell them that you are in, that they are in your target market, and this is why this is your target market, they get really, what's the word? They get really, they get put at ease. They can move forward. They can get over a hurdle real quick. So one of the things that we've done is we've put together these thinking sheets, if you would. And we're happy to send these to you. All you got to do is send us an email at the end of this, and Mike Ignatz will be happy, or Carrie Lane will be happy to send you these 3 sheets that we've put together, 5 or 6 sheets that we put together. But it just sort of gets your thinking straight. So knowing your target market, and just ask a couple of questions. Right? Knowing your target market, and again, you can fill this out for numerous different types of target markets you've got, but it just gets your thinking straight. So what are your business interests? Right? What are your business interests? Well, my business interests are profit, growth focused, active involvement, not passive involvement in our business. Those are our business interests. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here 200 days a year, or whatever. I'm not going to be here 200 days a year, but I'm going to be here, X number of days a year. And I'm focused when I'm here, and I'm focused on profit, growth focused. How can we grow our business? And we're very active in our business, and I'm not a passive owner. Right. So all of a sudden, that's what my business interests are. What are your business interests? Right. This is just a sheet that gets your thinking down. What do you have in common with this business interest? Well, we're active in the business. We've got 30 employees now, or 25, 28 employees now over a couple of different offices. We're very much service focused. Service is our business. We're 25 plus years of experience. That's what we have in common with this particular target market. What communities are you active in? I'm active in the Chamber of Commerce. I'm active in Advocates, CALU. I'm active in the Independent Financial Brokers, CGIB. I'm the president this year of the Muskoka Ski Club. I'm active in the St. Andrews College Parents Guild. I'm active in the Huntsville Hospital Foundation. I'm active in Alpine, Ontario in a very small way, right? But I'm active in all of these different communities, and it's amazing the business that you can get just by being active in different communities and in different capacities. And what type of businesses do you like to work with, right? And again, looking at the type of businesses, we're talking about businesses with, we're talking about employee benefits here. I like to work with profitable businesses where the owners are active in the business. I like to work with growth-oriented business. I like to work with innovative people and innovative businesses. I like to work with people that are passionate about what they do. They're focused. And I like to work with people that enjoy life. It's interesting because I've met a lot of people that don't enjoy life. It's amazing. So what type of businesses do you want to work with? Right? And again, I'm just writing down my answers here. And what type of businesses do you not want to work with? It's important to know who you want to work with, and it's important to know who you don't want to work with. Well, I don't want to work necessarily with public companies. There's all sorts of different reporting requirements. I don't want to spend 80% of my time working with companies with foreign ownership because they make decisions which you've got no control over. So I don't want to work with public companies. I don't want to work with foreign ownership companies. I don't want to have a meeting in Calgary. I don't want to go to Vancouver and have meetings. I want to have meetings in Southern and Central Ontario. So outside of Southern and Central Ontario, I don't want to work with companies outside of that area. I don't want to work with decision makers that don't take advice from professionals. A lot of people think they are the smartest people in the room all the time with every aspect of their world, when they're fact of the matter is they're not. We take advice from the professionals that we work with. We want to work with people that take advice from the professionals that they want to work with. As well as that, I don't want to work with businesses that have a short-term outlook. Right? So what are the geographic locations? Well, Southern and Central Ontario. As I mentioned, I don't want to work outside of Southern and Central Ontario. And what size? I want to work with companies with 1 to 101 employees because you can get that decision quickly. You can meet with the decision maker, etc. So when you put all of this on a piece of paper and you look at it and then you say, knowing your target market, what is your target market? It's easy to sort of pull things out and crystallize your thinking. And that's the purpose of this, is taking the information from the previous thinking page and being able to clearly and concisely understand what your target market is. And again, we're happy to send you these sheets. All you do is send us an email. So our target market is profitable entrepreneurial businesses, working with brokers that deal with profitable entrepreneurial businesses where the owners are active and focused on growth between 1 and 101 full-time employees located in Southern and Central Ontario. Bang, simple as that. That's our target market. So now that you know your target market, you got to build your database around that. Simple as that. you can build your database, and it's interesting. Scott's directory is a fabulous directory. It's available online now. When I started in 30 some odd years ago, our agency at Great West Life, you used to have these big giant Scott's directories paper, and it had all the information, but now you can buy the stuff online. It's a minimal investment, a few $100s. It's up to date. It's easy to use. So you're not searching around on the internet. You can sort it by all sorts of different things. This is a terrible screenshot that I've got, but you can sort it by postal code. You can sort it by SIC code, standard industry code. You can sort it by all sorts of different things and build your lists. Businesses that have been around for more than 30 years, businesses that have been around for less than 5 years. You can do anything you want on Scott's directory. And again, it's a minimal investment. You can buy just Ontario, you can buy Southern Ontario, you can buy nationally, you can do whatever it is that you want. Check out Scott's directory if you're serious about sales. It's the greatest tool you can have. So know your target market. That's important. When you look at this foundation of this or the root system of this oak tree and building this future, you got to know what your target market is. You got to know why it's your target market, and you got to be able to tell people why it's your target market. It's fascinating what happens when that is true, right? So know your target market. Now, we go into the next component of the root system is know what you're going to say. Know what you're going to say, and you got to make it about their future. So you got to know what you're going to say to this target market, and you got to make it about their future. You got to tell your prospects what you can do for them in one sentence or less. In one sentence or less. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, one sentence or less. Yeah, it's got to be less than a sentence. No, you got to be able to tell your prospects what you can do for them in one sentence in less than 7 seconds. And 7 seconds is just a number I put up when I was creating this presentation. It's not something magical. I'm not a psychologist here. It's just you got to be able to tell them quickly what you can do for them and how you can help them in less than 7 seconds. And you got to make it I like to say you got to make it a qualifying statement. Tell them and make it a qualifying statement. And make it about their future. So again, we help successful business owners build a better benefit plan than they can get anywhere else. Someone asks me, what do you do, Rob? I go, hey, well, thanks for asking. We help successful business owners build a better benefit plan than they can get anywhere else. Right, as simple as that. Let's break it down. We help. Right, we help. This picture's a little bit outdated. Kevin Pillar, one of the best outfielders in baseball, right? There he is. Guess what he's doing? He's getting help. People, no matter how successful they are, they like to get help. No matter how successful you are, you like to get help. Kevin Pillar here is getting assistance from one of the trainers, right? He's getting help from one of the trainers. He could put the ice on the back of his neck, but he's getting help because he likes to get help, right? We help successful business owners. As I like to say, there's 2 types of business owners. There's successful business owners, and then there's other people's prospects. We help successful business owners. We're making a qualifying statement. We help successful business owners. Okay, great. I'm not a successful business owner. I'm struggling a bit, so I'm going to keep this going for a little while, and then I'm going to call this guy in a couple of years when we're successful. Or I'm not a business owner, but I can put you in touch with a couple of business owners. Great. We help this is the qualifying part. We help successful business owners. So if you're not a successful business owner, don't really want to have a conversation about benefits with you. Build. What does build mean? Well, you can have custom row houses. You can have row houses where they all look the same. The neighborhood looks identical. Or you can build that customized approach. When someone builds something for you, it's customized for you. When someone builds a deck on the back of your house, it's customized for you. When someone builds a suit for you at a tailor shop, it's customized for you. If you want off the rack, awesome. But when you build something, it's unique and you feel excited about it. Right? So think about that. We help successful business owners build. Build, build, build. It's a powerful word, right? A better benefit plan than they can get anywhere else. So we want to build something that's better, and it's better than they can get anywhere else. So that creates that exclusivity. So when someone says, what do? We help successful business owners build a better benefit plan than they can get anywhere else. Simple as that. It's a qualifying statement. It's about their future. So when someone asks you, what do? How do you answer? Right? I sell insurance. Awesome. Great. I wonder, is there anybody else at this party I can talk to? Well, this is very difficult. Right? This took us 18 years to figure out. This is extraordinarily difficult. But how many times, especially since it's, January the 8th, 2020, and, we've had lots of time for holiday parties over the last couple of weeks, but how many times, have you met someone over the last couple of years and you ask them what they do and they answer you and you really kind of have no idea on what they do, and more importantly, no idea what they can do for you, or if anything. You have no idea what they do. I like to ask people twice. And then I go, oh, that's awesome. Right. But yeah, I'm the regional vice president of Western Canada for distribution of something. And you're going, I don't even know what that means. They tell you what their title is. They don't ask, they don't answer what they do. Right. So when people say, hey, what's your story or what's your job or what is it, what do you do? We help successful business owners build a better benefit plan than they can get anywhere else. I'm a full service I'm president of a full service third party benefit administration company. They're going to go, what's that? What does that mean? No. What do you do? You got to be able to answer that question. What do you do? Make it a qualifying statement, make it about their future. As I like to say, you've got to be able to tell a prospect what you can do for them in a boardroom, on a plane, at a party, an elevator, a hallway, or on a chairlift. I like to ski, but you got to be, that's why I say chairlift, because it's amazing. You got, depending on where you're skiing, but if you're at a Whistler Blackcomb, for example, you might have 15 minutes with somebody on a chairlift and they can't go anywhere. They can't escape. Party, they can escape. Plane, yeah, they're kind of stuck too, right? But you got to be able to tell them what you can do for them. What's important there is what you can do for them in a boardroom, on a plane, a party, in an elevator, on a chairlift, in a hallway in 7 seconds. Simple as that. So knowing what you're going to say, we've created these thinking pages. Again, happy to send these to you, but just who do you want to help? This just helps get your thinking straight. Who do you want to help? Well, we want to help successful, growth-oriented business owners. That's who we want to help. The Benefits Trust, if we were to help one type of person, it would be successful, growth-oriented business owners. If I could spend 100% of my time with one group of people, it would be successful, growth-oriented business owners. Who do you want to help? Well, what do you want to help them with? What do I want to help these successful, growth-oriented business owners with? Do I want to help them with, making sure they have a clean car? If you're selling car wash services, yes. But we're selling employee benefits. So we want to help them with a customized plan design, implementation, and ongoing service of their employee benefit programs. That's what we want to help them with. So how can we add value? Well, target plan design for their unique business, conservative budgeting, tax-effective solutions for business owners, providing clear understanding of the link between plan design and costs. That's how we can add value, right? When do you want to do this? Well, I want to do it today, I want to do it tomorrow, and I want to do it beyond. I don't want to do it last year. I don't want to do it the year before. I want to do it in the future. Simple as that. So when you look at these questions, it just gets your thinking straight. How can you add value? What do you want to help them with? Who do you want to help? When do you want to help them? Right? Put that all down on a piece of paper, and then knowing what you're going to say, taking the information from the thinking page, as I like to call it. How do you want to answer the following statement? How do you answer the following statement? Simple statement. What do you do? Not where do you work? Not what's your job title? Not how important are you? Not how many ceiling tiles do you have in your office? Not, hey, do you have a corner office or an inside office? No, it's what do you do? That's what people ask. They go, hey, Larry, it's a pleasure to meet you. Yeah, I think our wives are friends. Hey, what do you do, Larry? No, not what your job title or how big your office is or how many widgets you have. What do you do? So you're able to take that thinking page and that clarity from the other thinking page, and you can build your answer on what you do. We help successful business owners build a better benefit plan than they can get anywhere else. Simple as that. So now we know our target market. We know why it's our target market. We're excited about that. And we like to tell people why it's our target market. Now we know what we are going to say to our target market. We're going to be able to answer that question, what do you do? And we know we can make it a qualifying statement, and we can make it about their future. Okay, so now it's exciting. Now 2020 is going to be awesome. We know where we're going. what map we're going down. We've got our target market. We've got our database built. We know what it is that we're going to say, and we know what's a qualifying statement and make it about their future. Now, how many times do we have to do it to reach our goals? How many times is required? Simple as that, to reach your goals. Well, goals are a fascinating thing, right? One thing that's for sure, and I've been, as I mentioned, I don't want to sound like the old guy in the room, but I've been doing this for many, many years. And I've been in batting slumps, without a doubt. I've been in batting slumps. And you sort of sit back and you go, oh, no one likes me. This is shit. It's a terrible business. I want to get out of here. I just want to drive a bus for the TTC. I just want to, work up in Huntsville, Ontario and fish all day long. Like, whatever. But you're in these batting slumps. Why are you in these batting slumps? You look back at your schedule. Successful brokers have enough meeting. Frustrated brokers don't. Simple as that. Successful brokers have enough meetings. Frustrated brokers don't. When I look back at those batting slumps, it's not because I'm not getting enough people to say yes. As a salesperson, when I look back at those batting slumps, it's not about getting enough people to say yes. It's because I didn't have enough meetings. Simple. You got to have enough meetings. If you're busy enough, you're not frustrated. All you do is go, next. Hey, that person didn't buy. Well, good news. I've got 9 more meetings this week. Next. All right. In order to have enough meetings, you have to have a goal. It's amazing. In order to have enough meetings, enough so you're not frustrated, is you have to have a goal. And goals are critical. I've been part of the strategic coach program for 30 plus years, and I go to this particular workshop every 90 days. And reestablish goals. Look and monitor my goals. Look to see where we're at. We have goals in our business here at the Benefits Trust, and we talked about what our goals were for 2020 in a meeting that we had late in 2019. We have goals. We monitor their goals. We have a board up at our sales, the end of our sales department here, where we see where we're at with those goals. Right? In our administration department, we have daily goals. We monitor everything, right? We know where we're going. We know what we're doing. We know when we know what our goals are. And it's amazing when you know what your goals are, it's easy to get there. But you have to know what your goals are. You've got to set goals and you've got to communicate those goals. When I started in 1988, I was a Great West Life housed agent. Remember those days of agencies? Well, I was a Great West Life housed agent, and I remember going to an agency meeting within the first quarter that I was there, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was 20-something years old, didn't know my ass from a hole in the ground, and didn't know where I was going, and I was selling anything that I could to make enough money to last another week. Simple as that. My manager was all over me, and I just remember going to one of our agency meetings on a Friday morning, and this young lady got up, and she was a bit older than I was, but she was very successful. She had an office, and she had I had a cubicle. She had an office because of her success, and she had files that were full, and she was always busy, and there was always people waiting in the lobby to see her, and she was always out at meetings, and it was just fascinating. And I said, geez, what is she doing? And she got up at an agency meeting, and she spoke about her success. And she says, I have 10 meetings per week. Simple as that. I have 10 meetings per week. I work 30 weeks per year, and I have 300 meetings per year. That was her goal. Just have 10 meetings a week and work 30 weeks per year. She spent a lot of time on vacation, a lot of time doing continuing education, but she wanted to have 300 meetings per year, which was 10 meetings a week, 30 weeks per year. Simple as that. So when you think about that, first of all, it's important to define what is a meeting. A meeting is asking a prospect to buy. Folks, you guys are at a meeting right now. This is not a meeting. This is continuing education. This is not a meeting. A meeting is asking a prospect to buy the widget you are selling. Simple as that. So when we're talking about employee benefits, it's talking to a prospect about purchasing of your services. Simple as that. So the question is, how do you get meetings? So you got to have enough meetings. You got to have those 10 meetings a week, and using that example. But how do you get meetings? People always ask me this question. Well, it depends on the target market and depends on how many you need, but you got to ask. You have to ask people to have meetings. As simple as that. You got to get on the phone and you got to ask. You got to ask people to have meetings. And I think one of the best things to do is if you're in the business market, you got to be in business. People that are in the business market have to be in business. It's simple as that. This isn't just a shoulder shrug conversation about benefits. People really care now, and benefits are expensive. And benefits are an important component of a successful business owner's compensation. People that are in business do business with people that are in business. And in order to do that, you've got to build a brand. So if you're in the business market, you've got to build a brand, first of all. And then you got to do a whole bunch of things. You got to speak at meetings. You got to become known. You got to speak at meetings. You got to be on Facebook and Twitter and blog. We're on Facebook, and I'm not sure how much we're on Twitter, but I'm just putting this down as an example. But we blog. We blog continuously. We blog at least once a month about different subjects. And you can go to our website, thebenefitstrust.com, and search up our blogs. And we've got well over 100 blogs in there, and you can search them by subject. So if you want to steal any of them, help yourself. You got to phone and ask. You got to email. First class mail, something that's not used anymore. Send somebody a note. Hey, Larry, really nice to meet you at the party last weekend at Jennifer's house. I'm wondering if we can spend 10 minutes together over the next couple of weeks. Sincerely, Rob. P.S. I'll follow it up with a phone call shortly. Send them a first class piece of mail. No one gets it anymore. Right? Webinars like we're doing right now. Do webinars for your particular target market. Right? It's amazing on how many people will listen to you before they see you. Seminars, something of value seminars. People do seminars all the time. Create something of value seminars. My only advice, make them short, make them sweet, make them tight, make them of value. Something of value seminar. You got to network. Like I said, I was involved in, in the ski club and various other charities and so on. We do a Canada Day mailer. People look forward to it. Instead of getting, holiday cards, we do Canada Day mailers, the complete opposite time of the year. Whatever works for you. Be active in those community clubs. Have parties. It's amazing on how many people don't have parties and don't have, when you have parties, what's really cool about having parties, besides they're a ton of fun, and you don't have to worry about drinking and driving because that's at your house, right? The other thing about having parties is you get invited to parties. When you have parties, you get invited to parties. And sometimes you get invited to parties with people you don't know. And that's awesome because you get to meet new people. Be published. There's so many magazines out there, whether they're online or actually in print, but people are dying for content. Be published. Oh, by the way, I'm not a good writer. Oh, guess what? There's lots of people that are. Hire somebody. And you don't have to hire somebody full-time that sits in an office in your office. You can hire somebody to write a 500-word article for you on a particular subject. They'll have a 5-minute telephone interview with you and then write way better than you can, and you get to own it and put your name on it. Be published. Stop worrying about what can go wrong. Get excited about what can go right. It's amazing. I remember talking to somebody, and they wanted to put together a corporate brochure, and it took them 5 years to put together a corporate brochure because they were worrying about what could go wrong. You know what? Worry about what can go right and get excited about it. Simple as that. So what I like to say in my target market, when I talk to brokers about this, and if they're working in a similar size market or similar type of market, I say, you got to ask for that 10-minute meeting. It's as simple as that. You got to ask for that 10-minute meeting. Somebody is not going to spend an hour with you. They don't have time for that. Life is too busy. There's too much noise going on in the world. They don't want to spend an hour with you. But hey, personally, I'm still old school. I like the face-to-face. Hey, 10 minutes. Jennifer, I'd love to meet you for 10 minutes over the next couple of weeks. Do you have time for a coffee a week Thursday? How's 9:15? I'll bring the coffee in. What do you take in your coffee? So all of a sudden they're answering, what do you take in your coffee, as opposed to yes or no to the meeting. What do you take in your coffee? 9:15 Thursday works for you? Awesome. All right, ask for that 10-minute meeting. And then keep it to 10 minutes. Because you know what you're going to say. You're going to ask them a qualifying statement. Or you're going to ask them a qualifying question. You're going to tell them what you do, and you're going to ask them a qualifying question, which is going to take about 30 seconds, pardon me. Then you got 9 minutes and 30 seconds for them to answer those questions, and they're going to invite you to stay. Simple as that. This gets you to yes or no really quickly. Really quickly. So, again, in thinking about your thinking, let's look at how many meetings you have to reach your goals. And I've just put some numbers in here, but how many meetings do you have to reach your goals? Simple as that. Well, my 3-year annual revenue goal, for example, might be $300,000. Let's just say it is. After 3 years of being in this business, You want to have $300,000 of reoccurring revenue. Would that be good? Yeah, I think it would be good. It would be good for some people. It would be poor for others, but it would be good for a lot of people. Considering the average insurance agent licensed in the province of Ontario makes $50,000 a year, $300,000 would be 6 times that. So I think that's pretty good. So in 3 years, if you want to make $300,000, so that means you're out, using this example, your 1-year annual revenue goal is $100,000. At the end of the first year, I want to have $100,000 of reoccurring revenue. That would be great. That would be double what the average is. Well, let's just assume that an average employee benefit spend conservatively is about $3,000 per year. Average commission on a case is 5%. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. But that, let's just assume it's 5%. I'm just using these for numbers. Each employee creates $150 of revenue per year. So how many groups do I have to sell to meet my 1-year goal? All right, well, if I have $100,000 of revenue and I have $150 per employee, I need 666 full-time employees. Great, I can go out and sell a 666 person group and meet my 1-year goal, assuming I can get 5% commission out of that group. Awesome. But the average group size that I particularly want to work with, for example, is 30. Therefore, I need 22 new groups to reach my goal. 2 a month, simple as that. I need 2 groups a month. I need 2 yeses a month to reach that $100,000 goal. Simple as that. So create your formula. What's your revenue goal? How many lives do you need when we're talking about employee benefits? Average size market is 25. Okay, whatever, but you need to sell. You got to create your matrix, if you would. You got to create your equation in your world that makes sense to you. So in this particular example I need 22 new groups to reach my $100,000 goal. So 1 year in new revenue, 100,000. Year 2 in revenue, another 100,000. Year 3 in revenue, another 100,000. Okay, awesome. So that creates $300,000 in recurring revenue. Yes, I know I'm going to get sometimes more cases. Yes, I know I'm going to lose some cases along the way for whatever reason, but I want to keep focused on that $300,000 of recurring revenue. All right. So how many meetings do I have to reach my goal? Well, the number of groups I need to sell is 22. Simple as that. How many meetings do I have to have? Well, I'm pretty poor at sales, so I need to have a 20% closing ratio. Therefore, a 20% closing ratio is 100 meetings to get 20, so I need to have 220 meetings. All right, that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yes, 220 meetings. Awesome. How many weeks do I want to work per year? Right? Well, I want to work 40 weeks per year. I want to work 40 weeks per year. How many meetings do I have to have per week? Well, 6. I have to have 6 meetings per week. That's it. 6 meetings per week. 40 weeks. Okay. Does that make, yeah. How many calls do I have to make per week? Well, let's just say I've got a 10% closing rate per call. I got to make 66. I've got to make, 60 calls per week to get meetings. I'm going to make 60 calls per week. How many calls per day? Assuming I'm working 5 days a week, I'm going to make 12 calls a day. That's it. 12 calls a day to make $300,000 over the next 3 years. After 3 years, if I make 12 calls a day, I can make $300,000 in recurring revenue. Simple as that. You break down your goals. The process of this is break down your goals. Break it down into a bite-sized piece. It's something that makes sense to you, something that you can measure. And you got to do it as many times as required to reach your goals. This young lady, and I wish I could remember her name at Great West Life, hers was 10 meetings a week. She just needs to have 10 meetings a week, 30 weeks a year, and she was done. In this example, I've broken it down on these thinking pages a number of times. You just break it down something that's meaningful. All I got to do is make 12 calls a day. 12 calls a day. That's what I have to do. So you can drive home and you can put a sticky note in your car. Did I make my 12 calls a day? Or did I make my 12 calls today? Did I make my 60 calls per week? Do I have 10 meetings this week? Whatever it is, break it down and break it down and break it down and break it down into a bite-sized piece that you can look at yourself in the mirror when you shave, or look at yourself in the mirror when you brush your teeth or fix your hair, or whatever it is that you do, right? And you can say, yeah, I'm on track. I made those calls, or I had those meetings. But you got to do it as many times as required to reach your goals. So How many meetings do you have to reach your goal? Well, first of all, my target market is, you put all these things together on one page. What is my target market? My target market is profitable entrepreneurial businesses where the business owners are active and focused on growth between 1 and 101 full-time employees located in southern and central Ontario. That's who I'm going to talk to. I know what I do. And what I do is I help successful business owners build a better benefit plan than they can get anywhere else. And I got to make 12 calls a day to reach my financial goals. Put that up in your office. Put that up by your phone. Put that up in your home. Put it. If you've got that on one piece of paper, you can just do it. It's as simple as that. Sales is simple. It's just a numbers game. It's as simple as that, but break it down into a point where it makes sense and do it in a logical way so you know who you're going to talk to and you know what you're going to say and how you can help them, what you can do for them, and you know how many times you need to do it. Just do it. It's as simple as that. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Well, if you want something that you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. It's as simple as that. Thomas Jefferson said that. You want something that you've never had, you must be willing to do something that you've never done. Yeah, I want to have $300,000 in recurring revenue. Oh, shit, I don't want to call anybody, though. All right, well, oh, well, knock yourself out. Yeah, I want to win the lottery, too, but I didn't buy a ticket. Okay, so, if you want to do something, do it. Right? You got to change the way you do it. But my advice and how I've always lived is break it down to a bite-sized piece that you can sink your teeth into, and then you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, I did what I was supposed to do. As simple as that. So know who you're going to talk to. Become the expert in that target market. And again, you might have 3 or 4 or 5 different target markets depending on what it is that you're selling. Right? You might have a target market that is different for life insurance, or different for investments, that's different from group insurance, that's different from disability insurance. But regardless, become the expert in those multiple target markets or your target market. Become the target market. Hey, all I want to do is deal with businesses on Matheson Boulevard in Mississauga. I'm going to be your benefits guy on Matheson Boulevard. I don't go more than 1 kilometer from here. I'm always available, Mr. Prospect. That's why I'm here. Oh, that's an interesting approach. Let's talk more, right? Become an expert in that target market. And guess what? When you become that expert, regardless of what that target market is and regardless how you define it, because there's no right or wrong answers, it's how you define it. But when you become the expert in that target market, your confidence is going to shine through. You're going to be like this professional advisor here on the left as opposed to nervous Nelly on the right. Right? Know what you're going to say in that target market. Make it about their future. Tell them what it is that you can do and what you can do for them, and make it a qualifying statement. But you got to make it about their target market, or make it about their future. We help successful business owners build a better benefit plan than they can get anywhere else. Build is about future. Build is about custom. This gets you to yes or no quickly, and you want to get to yes or no quickly. Yes pays you, no teaches you, and maybe kills you. So know what you're going to say. Ask enough people to buy to meet your sales goals. If you don't have sales goals, set them. If you don't have sales goals, set them. Don't be distracted by the noise that's in the environment. There's a lot of noise out there. There's a ton of noise out there. But set short, medium, and long-term goals. If you don't have goals, you're never going to get there. It's as simple as that. I drove across the country with my youngest son last September. And it's interesting. I could have just started heading west. But we had a very specific goal. We had a very specific route that we had chosen. And I'm not saying that we stuck to that route. We actually changed it up a couple of times because of different things that we found along the way. But you got to have a goal. We knew where we were going. We had a destination. And we made adjustments along the way. But we had a destination. We had a goal. We knew where we were going. It's a roadmap. It's going to take you where it is that you're going to go. Set goals. It's interesting. I was at a session, the CIGB breakfast meeting some time ago. And by the way, if you're not a member of the CGIB, you should go become a member right away. Talk to Dave Patriarch about that. Go to cgib.com. But they had breakfast meetings. And I went to this breakfast meeting, and it was the first one in January. And I remember going and I asked the question to the group, what are your sales goals for 2000 and whatever year it was? And everybody said, oh, I don't know. And they flustered and they flustered and they flustered. I know exactly what my sales goals are. I know exactly what it is. I know exactly what it is from a dollar perspective. I know exactly what it is from a case count perspective. I know exactly what it is from a number of lives perspective. I know exactly what it is on a monthly basis. I know exactly what it is, on an annual basis. I know exactly what it is over the next 3 years and 5 years and 10 years. And guess what? That roadmap is going to change. But know what your sales goals are. As simple as that. So we spent a lot of time. We encourage you to visit thebenefitstrust.com. Lots of valuable information on there about us. Things like get the free ebook, Smart Business Owner's Guide to Healthcare Spending Accounts. It's just something that we've done. Check it out. It's really quite an easy read. It's a great leave behind piece. It's a great something to email someone to get their attention, right? Or copy it, rewrite it, make it your own. It's up to you. Don't really care. It's awesome. Be on social media, blog. It's amazing because today people, when they're looking for solutions, they often will search you out, and they won't bring you in, or they won't agree to a meeting until they're sort of about 6 steps into the 10-step buying process. So when you blog, you get your name out there. It was interesting. I was talking to actually a member of our ski club about a situation that she had going on, and she was searching a particular service, and our website kept on coming up. So it was fascinating. So she called me and asked me because I was the expert. So it's amazing where you can get people to reach out to you. And blogging is a simple and easy way to do it. So we spent an hour together. We're going to send you some CE credits. I promise we're going to get these to you. We're going to get this backlog cleared up very shortly. Reach out to us and say hello. Michael Ignatz was not here today. Unfortunately, he had another commitment, but Kerry Lane, reach out to Kerry Lane, myself, or Michael. There's our numbers, info at the Benefits Trust, or our first initial and last name, and send us an email. If you want these 3 or 6 or 7 sheets that we put together, these thinking sheets, we're happy to send those to you. Reach out to us. And if we're doing business together, we thank you for your business and we look forward to doing more business with you. And if we're not doing business together, we encourage you to look at thebenefitstrust.com, reach out to us. And we do a lot of business in our target market, and we want to help you grow your business. And we'd love to be able to answer questions for you and help you build a sales plan to help you grow your business. So thank you for your time. We wish you the best in 2020, and it's time to sell. It's time to get out there and sell. Remember, break it. Remember, have a target market. Know why it's your target market. Know what you're going to say, what you can do for them. Make it a qualifying statement. Make it about their future. And know how many times you need to do it. And guess what? Life is good. Thanks. Time to sell. Have a great day. Check out the benefitstrust.com for future webinars. We've got our new webinar series for 2020 up and posted. So we look forward to seeing close to the 100 people that are on this call on our next one. Bye for now.